Joined now by head coach of the Maize Eagles. It's Gary Guzman here, leading up to the 2025 season. Lots of returning talent this year, Coach. How's fall camp been going so far?
It's been going well. It's been going well. We've had pretty good practices so far, and excited to get this thing going.
Yeah.
So
And you've got a really impressive quarterback returning in Brayden Myovela, one of the best in the state. What have you seen from him and his development over this last 365 days? Because he was a receiver last year starting the year. Halfway through the year, transitions to quarterback and was excellent down the stretch. What have you seen from him this offseason?
I mean, I think he's improved. I think his knowledge of the quarterback position, his skills, quarterback position skills have improved.
Mm-hmm.
His leadership, I think, has also improved. I just think that he's all the way around. He's improved quite a bit, and we're looking forward to seeing what kind of a year he has. But he's a very good receiver as well, and that's I think probably his first love. But he's playing quarterback for us, and we're excited about that.
Yeah. How have you kind of tailored the offseason around his skill, or the offense around his skill set, especially this offseason when I'm sure you've been on the whiteboard drawing up some plays, because making that transition in the middle of the year had to be a little bit different. Now being able to cater the offense around his skill set, how have you been able to do that this offseason?
I think our offensive coordinator does a great job of making sure that we're using the right plays for him, and pretty much everything that we do, he's able to execute. And a lot of RPOs with him. He's got the ability to run and hurt you with his legs. So. We've got to also keep in mind the receivers that he's got to work with, the running backs he's got to work with, and obviously the offensive line. But we try to look at the whole picture, try to look at all the offensive players and see what we can do best. And as long as he can execute these things, which he's been able to, and we go with it.
Yeah, and he talked, when I talked to him a little bit ago, he talked about the running back room, how he's very impressed with some of the young guys there. What have you seen from them that will really, potentially make an option game very dangerous?
We've got a senior running back returning, started for us last year, and he's awesome. He's a great strength, and he's a really good running back. He was a good running back last year. He seems like he's improved his cutting ability, his ability to see more now. I think, a lot of times when you're first starting as a running back, you're kind of, tunnel vision, and I think that's opened up quite a bit, and he sees the field a lot better, and he's able to make the cuts that he needs to make, and he's got the power to run people over as well. And then we got a junior running back that's a good-sized running back, strong kid, great kid, and also has very good running back skills. So we feel very good about the 1-2 punch there, and what we can do with both of them, and we will put both of them in the backfield and have them do some different things with that.
And then defensively, on the back end of that defense, in the back seven, you guys have a ton of experience returning, including some studs at linebacker. What have you seen from the defense this offseason that's encouraged you?
I think our defense is going to be solid. I think we've got some guys on that side of the ball that have experience, obviously, and our secondary is going to be solid. I believe our linebackers are linebackers. I mean, they're going to hit you, and they're going to run the ball and do some great things for us. But feel very good about that side of the ball. We always emphasize speed on that side, and I feel like we have that right now. And physicality. You got to be physical on defense, and I know they're really stressing. Defensive coaches are really stressing, causing turnovers and getting the ball back to the offense and giving us opportunities. So I feel really good about our defensive staff and our defensive players right now. I think they're gonna play fast and smart and aggressive, and that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. And what did you learn about your team last week? You guys hosted a jamboree against some pretty solid competition. What did you learn about your team in those matchups?
It's hard to tell on those jamborees, because you can't really, tackle the quarterback. You can't, you try to stay off even the running backs. You thud, but you don't really, you're not supposed to bring them down, and so you kind of limit what you can do. But we saw some really good things. We saw some good things, and we feel like the running game is going to be good. Passing game, defense, like I said, was flying around. So I think, just based on a jamboree, I think, we look pretty good.
And how important will it be for you guys to get out to a fast start this season, especially after last year, the slow start you guys had? How important is it going to be to get out to that quick start?
I think it's important. I think it's very important to get off to a fast start. Last year, having that slow start and 4 games into the season, we haven't won a game. That's really hard on the team, And I don't want our kids to, have this, oh, here we go again mentality. We want to change that, want that to be different. We want our kids to step up and get it done early and then just keep it going.
Yeah. And what do you feel like is going to be the strengths of this year's team?
We work on all phases of the game. We work on all phases of the game. We expect all phases to do well. I think it's going to be a combination of all three phases and being able to execute and winning the different phases. Every game, and we just feel like you can't expect to go out and win games just with an offense. You got to have a defense. You got to have special teams. So I think it's going to take a full game. With all three parts of the game. Working well and those are our expectations, and that's what's going to help us to be successful.
And what are some of the coaching points that you guys are trying to clean up heading into week 1 against Goddard?
I just think, again, make sure that our kids are mentally prepared, and I always tell them, never underestimate whoever you're playing, regardless of record, regardless of what you know about them. You got to be prepared and ready to go. We know that Goddard's going to be pretty good. They obviously beat us last year, and Coach Beeson does a good job over there. He those guys are competitive, and they're going to be ready to play, and we have to be ready to play. So
yeah, what would you tell Maize fans and Maize alumni, students about this year's team? What can they expect from this year's team?
Hopefully a lot of great things. Hopefully, the fans will be pleased with the product we put out there on Friday nights, and we have to focus on ourselves and make sure that we're doing the little things right, make sure each individual does their job and does it to the best of his ability, and hopefully it's good enough to bring the fans out, to bring our alumni back, and they can be proud of them. Either way, you got to be proud of our kids, because we got a bunch of good kids that work hard and want to win. And, every Friday night you're going to have a winner and a loser, and hopefully, we're going to have more on the winning side and something that our fans and our alumni can be proud of.
Awesome, Coach. Thanks so much for your time. Best of luck this year.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Joined now by QB1 of the Maize Eagles here in our high school football preview series. It's Brayden Myovela, entering his first full year as a starter under center. Was a spark plug last year for the Eagles. Brayden, kind of talk about what this offseason has been like for you guys heading into your senior year.
Yeah, all the players came up to the summer. Can't think of one player that didn't show up and put the work in all summer. Coaches had us working out there all summer, getting ready for the season.
And for you, making the complete transition to quarterback. You started at receiver last year and then made the mid-season move to quarterback. What have you kind of seen development-wise from yourself this offseason under center?
Definitely my pre-reads before the snap, knowing where the receivers are going as well. I didn't have that much knowledge of where the receivers, all the receivers' routes last year. So having that in my mind this year will help me out a lot more than last year.
And kind of talk about some of the weapons that are back, because you guys have a lot of weapons back this year. Who's kind of impressed you and shown out in fall camp and early summer?
Yes, sir. Definitely our linebackers. Our linebackers definitely see improvement there, and then definitely our running backs as well. We got a great running back group and a great linebacker group, so I'll take those two.
And what have you seen? Kind of talk about the offensive line a little bit. They've got some guys up front that are kind of new, but also some returning guys. What have you seen from the offensive line this offseason?
Yes, sir. We only have one returning starter from last year, but the group coming in is great. They know what they're doing and all that. So yep.
And what did you guys learn during this jamboree period last week against some pretty solid competition in Carroll, and I believe West was here as well? What did you learn during that from getting some real film against some other teams?
Yeah, it was great competing against them, seeing where we're at. Definitely in the run game, looking good, and getting our little things together will help us out.
And you guys face Goddard here in week 1. What are some of the coaching points that you guys are kind of hitting on leading up to your first game? What is some of the things you have to clean up from, whether it be the scrimmage last week or early in practice? What are you guys trying to clean up before the game gets real?
Yeah, they have a great fast defense, so we gotta work on the handoffs, work on the quick throws, and work on all that before week 1.
And what do you feel like will be the strength of this year's team, whether it be offense or defense? What do you feel like you guys are going to be able to do really well?
Definitely our offense. And honestly, our defense as well. But our major point special teams, I think, which a lot of teams sleep on. But our coaches put a lot of time and work into special teams, a lot of film. And I feel like that's what we'll win on.
Yeah. And how have you been enjoying the recruiting process? Because you're not only a star on the gridiron, but also on the hardwood. What's it been like trying to balance those two this summer?
Yeah, just trying to get some work on the weekends of basketball, get some shots up. Keeping football the main thing still though.
Yeah.
But just trying to balance those out on the weekends. And
what would your message be to Maize fans and students and alumni about this year's team? What can they expect from the 2025 Maize Eagles?
This year's going to be great.
Yeah. Well, Brayden, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck this year.
Thank you.
Joined now at Maize High School by defensive back and captain of the defense for the Maize Eagles at Scotty Hadley. Entering your senior year, Scotty, kind of how are you feeling heading into now week one? It's kind of crazy feeling that way, but it is week one. How are you feeling heading into week one?
Real good. Real excited to play football again. It's been a while, and I was hurt last year for most of the season, and it feels real good to hopefully have a full season my senior year.
Kind of talk about the coming back from injury, what you're able to do, and maneuvering around some of the rehab process.
Yes, sir. I was out for 4 weeks. I got hurt in the first game against Goddard, and then I came back against campus, and I had a pick six, and I still managed to get second team in the league.
Yeah, and for you as well. I mean, last year Maize gets out to a rough start, but then closed the season on a really hot streak. I'm sure you were a big part of that. What do you feel like was the difference between the first half of the season and the second half of the season?
We switched Brayden to receiver, and we switched Pierce to
Other way around, yeah.
We switched our receiver and quarterback, and it really made a real big difference.
And for you on the defensive side, was there any changes or anything that you guys made on the defensive side to really get things going to the end?
We just brought the energy. We really motivated on third down, give it your all. That's your last down.
Yeah. And for you guys coming into this season, what was last week like? Did you guys scrimmage? Did you guys jamboree? What did you guys do to kind of prepare yourselves for this week against Goddard?
We had a jamboree here at home against Wes and Carroll, and we showed that we're going to be really good this year, and we're going to be hot.
Yeah. What did you guys really feel like you did well in the scrimmage and the jamboree?
We did really well on run game and outside runs.
And what have kind of been the coaching points here leading up to the first week of the season?
Just really surround the ball and try and strip that ball whenever we're tackling.
What do you guys feel like you've improved the most upon from last practice of last season to getting into game one this year?
Just reacting faster and moving to the ball quicker. And our DBs, we have all of them returned except one, and we're looking really good.
And you see Brayden every day in practice, quarterback one. Last year starts the season at receiver, played a little bit of quarterback as a sophomore, but now coming into this year, quarterback for the entire fall camp. What have you seen from him in terms of his development?
Man, he can really throw it on the run, and I'm really excited what he can do in a whole season when he only had half last year.
Yeah. So who are some young guys that have stepped into big roles that have impressed you in camp?
Pierce George, he's going to be one of our best receivers, and I'm really excited to see what he can do for a whole season, a receiver. Drake Blasey, one of our best linebackers, and Vincent Roses is one of our best tacklers.
Yeah. And what would be your message to Maize fans, Maize alumni, people who support the program? What would you tell them about this year's team?
We're going far in playoffs this year.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck this year.
Thank you.